That was Dr. Deming there that you heard in that very inspirational moment, talking about Above and Beyond Cancer, who has an evening of inspiration, as you saw the date there, tonight. So we're excited to talk about that with the Executive Director of Above and Beyond Cancer, Christopher Goodale. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Just remind everybody, Above and Beyond Cancer, what is that organization all about?
An organization we were started in 2011 here in Des Moines by Dr. Dick Deming, and our mission is to elevate the lives of those who are touched by cancer, which is just about everybody.
Right.
And the great thing about our organization, it's any kind of cancer, any kind of experience, and it's both caregivers and survivors, and also anybody who's in the medical profession. So just about everybody can be part of it.
This encompasses everybody, then, doesn't it?
Yeah, which is one of the things that attracted me to the organization in the first place.
All right, so how are we going above and beyond?
Yeah, well, one of the things the way we started was to do these transformational journeys. And the first one was to the base camp of Mount Everest. And
right, we remember that. We talked quite a bit about that.
Dr. Deming took a group of cancer survivors and caregivers, and since then we've been to Kilimanjaro and we've been to Nepal and different places, and that's one of the things we'll spotlight tonight is our most recent trip, which was to Tibet and to Nepal.
Right. Now, what can people expect when they go to the event a little bit later on tonight?
Yeah, it's really fun. We're celebrating the collaborative effort that we're working together with Drake and the Drake Community Press on producing a book in about a year.
Oh, really?
That'll be about how people have been positively affected by Above and Beyond Cancer. So we're about a year into that process. So that's why the event will be at Drake University tonight in the Olmsted Center upstairs at Parents Hall. So one of the components of that was an art as therapy class. So some of the participants of that, so 12 different cancer survivors, will spotlight the artwork that they did during this 13-week session.
Really?
That'll be during the cocktail and social hour, and then we'll have about an hour-long program ending at 7:30 tonight, where we'll talk about what we did in Tibet, what we're doing now with the Drake Community Press, what we have to offer people at Above and Beyond Cancer, and then Dr. Deming will close the event with an announcement of where our next transformational journey will be.
So we're looking to the future and what that next trip is going
Absolutely,
to be.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, we know that we have a transformational journey here in our country for the first time.
Okay.
We'll do that in August, and that's a very poorly kept secret. But we have sort of kept. We have
everybody who should know knows about it, right?
And if they don't, they'll know now.
They'll know now.
But secondarily, the next big journey will be announced at the end of the event tonight.
All right, now these transformational journeys, they're so moving and they change lives.
Absolutely.
How do people get involved or learn more about those in general?
And that would be to go to our website, aboveandbeyondcancer.org, and they can find out all about our past journeys and about the Colorado journey, and then soon we'll post the one that will be after that.
Okay.
Let's talk about how these journeys really change lives, not for any people that are battling cancer or surviving cancer, but everyone it's touched along the way, as you've said. These are trips that just the regular Joe would find, might want to go, but would find difficult and demanding.
Yeah.
And you're asking someone who's just went up against a huge battle themselves to say, hey, we're going above and beyond. Talk about that journey that people truly go through.
Yeah, it is a real journey, and both physically and metaphorically. So a lot of our participants, like you guys said, it may be the first time they've ever been in a tent, but they have the comfort of our organization, and so they volunteer to go forward, and they do some fundraising or use their own resources. But the reason they do it is because we continue to inspire them and help educate them. And we also work on it with Mary Van Hukelum, our program director. She also trains them and helps them get up to speed a little bit in a 6 to 8 week program.
That was my next question. About 8 weeks, you can get ready in about 2 months.
Yeah, and a lot of that is on your own. You know, they just meet. We just meet once a week.
But you're going to guide them in the right direction.
Absolutely, yeah. And there are situations where, you know, people just have never hiked more than a few miles, or they've never been to the mountains at all, and here they are going to Tibet and Nepal.
Unbelievable. I've had friends who have done these journeys, and they say it's one of the hardest but most rewarding things they've ever done in their lives.
Yeah, and you'll hear again tonight that singularly they couldn't do it, but collectively they find a will and a way.
And that can teach us a lot in life, even if we are
Absolutely.
battling cancer or someone who is battling cancer. So an evening of inspiration. Are we still able to attend tonight? Are tickets still
Absolutely,
available?
yeah. Tickets are still available. That's the nice thing about doing it at Drake. Somebody asked me the other day, "What's the top number?" I said, "Oh, I don't know, maybe 1,000."
So you have plenty
Plenty
of
of room.
Yeah, right now I just checked before I came in, and we have almost 300 people that will be attending tonight.
Wonderful.
So yeah, you can show up at Drake at the Olmsted Center tonight. Come upstairs, and we'll be glad to swipe your card and get you right in.
That
Love
works.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to find out where the next place is.
Yeah, it should be exciting, and we'll let you know after tonight.
The big reveal.
After tonight, where everybody's going.
Now, is Dr. Deming going to be able to make the announcement himself?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
That's it wouldn't be an evening of inspiration without Dr. Deming.
He's truly just an incredible man. But everyone, including you, that works for this organization, is just an amazing facility, and we appreciate it very much.
Well,
everything you
it's
do.
a special organization. I'm very fortunate to be part of it.
Wonderful.
Thank you for everything.
Learn more by going to their website, aboveandbeyondcancer.org. They are doing some incredible things, but if you truly want to be inspired and give back in a huge way, you can do that tonight at Drake University. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me
morning.
here.
All right.
Wonderful.
It is 9:44. We'll be right back.